Hurricane Michael ripped through the Florida Panhandle 6 years ago. Mayor Margo Anderson's book reveals what really happened in Lynn Haven. 600 pages with actual FBI investigation memos and much more. The foreword is written by Guy Lewis, a Fox News contributor who oversaw all federal prosecutors under Attorney General John Ashcroft nearly 20 years ago. He represented James Finch, the longtime contractor hit with bogus charges so absurd that 2 juries rejected them. It didn't take long for the second jury to return a not guilty verdict. Margo's book is a journey of legal treachery that will shock the conscience of every American. Order your copy today of Hurricane Michael, Storm of Corruption at Amazon.com. Or you can pick up a copy in Lynn Haven at Victoria's Last Bite. Hit and run, cover-ups, false police report. These are things that get my attention. So the big story, the number one news item on WMBB and the other station, WJSG, is that the Parker City Police Department, well, Parker City Council had a meeting yesterday, I don't know if they called it a special meeting. And the mayor over there, Mayor Kelly, said he expected that the chief of police, Chief Hutto, was going to announce that he was going to retire. But, and I'll play the WMBB news story for you. Bunch of people left. A bunch of the officers left. Now, it's a small city. You know, they probably had, I don't know, 11 police officers, something like that. They're down to 3. According to what you're going to see, they're down to 3. Now, I don't know exactly why that is, but I do know something. And I'm going to share it with you right now. Before we do any thank yous to sponsors or anything, I want to share a story with you. And then we're going to take a look at the news story about the Parker Police Department. Now, there are some theories going around that I think are pretty strong. And essentially, it's that Sheriff Ford wants to oversee Parker. And normally, I would be all for a sheriff's office having, more jurisdiction because the sheriff is directly accountable to the people, whereas police chiefs are accountable to the elected officials or the city manager. In this case, Parker doesn't have a city manager. They have a mayor and 4 council members, and I believe they are a council mayor form of government. In other words, the mayor pretty much runs the city directly, and administratively all of that. And but you can't fire anybody without the council's vote. But anyway, it's not a city manager run city. So this is just an unbelievable story I got to share with you. And well, let's get to it. So earlier this month, there was and I wrote this down so I don't forget anything. I'm going to be looking at my little notes here that I wrote down. Earlier this month, there was a car crash on Tyndall Parkway during the 5 o'clock rush hour. What happened was there was a white pickup truck that made a dangerous left turn. There was a bunch of traffic, all right, on Tyndall, and there's a pickup truck wanting to make a left turn, and these cars are going 40 miles an hour or something like that, 30, 40 miles an hour, and this pickup truck wants to make this left turn down this side street in the city of Parker. And as this vehicle is approaching, this left pickup truck just goes, and there's no time to stop. So this driver, a lady, she tries to brake and she hits the back of the pickup truck, like the bed. And the pickup truck is able to hold on, and it just takes off down the side street. So the white pickup truck caused the crash and headed down the side street. The vehicle B, because vehicle A is always at fault. The lady who was driving had her teenage daughter with her and hit the back of the pickup truck that took off and sort of stayed in the road there. The front of her vehicle, especially on the passenger side, is jacked up. It was a pretty solid collision. So let me get to this so I don't forget anything. Okay. So the at fault driver who fled the scene is an 18-year-old girl, and she went about a half mile, maybe a little less, and stopped at a parking lot on the side road. And another vehicle that saw the accident followed the at fault white pickup truck and got sort of behind the at fault driver, the young girl. And it was a couple. It was the girlfriend stayed and called 911 by the at fault vehicle, and the boyfriend he ran over to the scene of the crash on Tyndall Parkway, where the victim vehicle was. He wanted to make sure that the lady driving and the teenage girl were okay. So the witnesses, okay. So now 911's been called by the couple, the girl who's parked. They're parked behind the at fault driver, the 18-year-old, and this witness calls 911 and says, "I just saw a hit and run, and I'm behind the person who took off, and I'm just calling to report." So then Parker, police officer, a young police officer, Dickinson, he shows up on Tyndall Parkway at the scene of the crash. All right. And that's where the lady and the teenage daughter, who are rattled, reeling from a pretty good accident. And he's there, and they've kind of got the car over to the side, and the traffic's picking up again. And the young police officer, Dickinson, who responded to the scene, he takes witness statements, and there's a lot of traffic. Now, meanwhile, the Parker police chief, Hutto, he shows up where the 18-year-old girl is, the at fault driver in the white pickup truck, and about a half mile down that side road. Almost an hour later, Chief Hutto arrives at the crash scene on Tyndall Parkway. And when the lady, the victim of the accident, asked about the hit and run driver, what happened? Did you guys charge the hit and run driver that took off? The Chief Hutto explains that she's only 18 years old. All right. And we don't want to ruin her life. It's a pretty serious crime, an accident, hit and run. And she doesn't need to go to jail or anything like that. And so the victim now, the lady, is sort of surprised. And she says, well, is she going to be charged, given a ticket for causing the accident, at least? Oh, absolutely, says Chief Hutto. Absolutely. That's vehicle A. And vehicle A is always the at fault in an accident report. So a few days later, the victim, the lady, she checks the clerk of court website, and she looks for the name of the 18-year-old girl who caused the accident and fled. And this is where it gets absolutely unbelievable. Do you know what the 18-year-old girl was cited for? Running a stop sign. That's it. The police only gave her a ticket for running a stop sign. Oh, you want to see? Okay, I'll show you. So this is at the clerk of court website. Oops, I'm looking at the wrong thing. Forgive me. Now, I have, and I think I'm going to continue to redact the name, even though the 18-year-old girl is an adult. I just don't, and I don't think she's being held accountable. At the same time, I just don't want a bunch of things said about her. Okay, it's hard to be 18. I just I don't think it's super important for me to say her name, and so I'm not. So anyway, this is what's on the clerk of court website. You see on the top right where it says Parker Police Department. All right, that's the that's the responding police department. Now look at the bottom there. You see that? You see the bottom where it says ran stop sign. That's it. That's it. She turned left into traffic, caused a pretty good accident, and fled the scene. But all she was charged with is running a stop sign. Now, here's the kicker. There aren't any stop signs there. There's no stop signs there. So the Parker police lied to the court. The case is still open. A couple of weeks ago, oops, hold on, sorry. A couple of weeks ago, the lady, the victim, who was injured in the crash, not severely, but getting treatment, made a public record request from the city of Parker for Officer Dickinson, who responded to the scene and took witness statements. She asked for his body camera video. Now, the city of Parker got a grant recently, and they were able to get all the body cams. So they got body cam footage. At least Officer Dickinson does. The chief of police, wearing civilian clothes, wouldn't have body cam footage, but Officer Dickinson does. It's public record. And certainly the victim of a crash is entitled, right, to it. She was told that it normally takes about 24 hours, no problem. This was a couple of weeks ago. Remember, the crash was earlier this month on the 6th. So just about a day is all it takes to get badge cam video. She still doesn't have it. 2 weeks later, she does not have it. The city of Parker that turned in to the court a falsified, everything's false. There's no stop sign to run. There was an accident and a fleeing driver. So if you get the body cam footage, you're going to see there was a crash. There's no stop signs. The city of Parker police, they're sort of gotten themselves into a tough spot here. The lady, the victim, also requested the accident report, the CAD, which is the computer assisted dispatch report when you call the 911, witness statements. There were several witnesses. Officer Dickinson was doing a good job, the young officer, writing down all of the, so you saw the accident. Okay, what happened? The white truck pulled out in front of the lady and caused the crash and then took off. Whole bunch of people said that. Several witnesses on the scene, but the Parker police will not give the lady the body cam footage. They haven't yet. They won't give her the witness statements. They won't give her the dispatch report, the actual CAD, computer assisted dispatch report. So the lady is starting to wonder about the Parker Police Department, right? Earlier this month. And so how do you deal with your insurance company? If the police report doesn't indicate that the other driver was at fault, but merely that the other driver just ran a stop sign. No accident. So she calls the police department and talks to the young officer, Officer Dickinson, who was there, taking the witness reports. And she asked about, hey, can you amend the report to indicate that the other driver was at fault so I can turn it in and my insurance can pay for it so I don't get stuck with all these medical bills? And the young officer says, hold on, let me go talk to my boss. Comes back and says, nope, the reports cannot be amended. Well, you've got to fix it. You can't just say she ran a stop sign. Right? Can't be amended. Sorry, ma'am. Just turn it in. Turn in your stuff to your insurance company and best of luck. Just turn it in the way it is. So the whole situation, as you can see, is shady as all get out. So what's going on? A hit and run cover up, a falsified police report lying to the court, honest services fraud, a 14th Amendment violation. That's what happens when you don't get equal treatment under the law, when the law doesn't treat you the equal application of the law. If you don't get that, that's a violation of your constitutional rights. So why would Chief Hutto refuse to enforce the law with the hit and run? Why did Officer Dickinson file a false police report and lie to the court? Why did the chief of police show up at the where the 18-year-old girl was parked in the pickup who caused the accident after she fled? Why is this happening? What's really going on? Now, I don't know for sure, but I do know something, and I'm going to tell you the kicker when I get back. Don't let back pain and neck pain get you down. Find relief at Brown Chiropractic Center on St. Andrews Boulevard in Panama City. Dr. Sherry Brown helps people heal naturally with chiropractic adjustments and deep tissue massage. Call 769-3777. I want to thank
strong, effective leadership. 3 words that could mean the difference between prison and your freedom. I'm Al Saulene, your Panama City Beach lawyer. 850-215-0628.
All right, I have an idea why this is going on. Here's what I know. The at-fault driver, the 18-year-old girl in the white pickup truck, is Sheriff Tommy Ford's Explorer Cadet of the Year. She's training to become a law enforcement officer. And there's a picture of her on stage in her Explorer Cadet uniform with Sheriff Tommy Ford on May 30th as he's presenting her the top award less than 6 months ago. Turns out, as we've known, Sheriff Tommy Ford's thin blue line is a crooked one. His Explorer Cadet of the Year is learning how to navigate Bay County's hit and run cover-up culture. They're teaching her how important it is to falsify police reports, that lying to the court is standard operating procedure. Basically, they're grooming her. They're putting her in their debt. They want to own her. It's wrong on so many levels. Now, I don't want this girl to go to jail, although the rest of us would. I don't want her to. But what I do want, and what I think you want, is accountability, is consequences, integrity. I want the victim, the lady who didn't deserve this, who's just driving with her teenage daughter on Tyndall Parkway, and this white truck pulls out, bam. And then the white truck takes off, flees the scene. I want her to get equal treatment under the law, justice, and an accident report that's accurate so that she can submit it to her insurance company so she doesn't get stuck with the medical bills from her injuries. So I actually feel I feel bad. Well, I feel bad for the victim mostly, but I also feel bad for the 18-year-old cadet, the cadet of Tommy Ford's Cadet of the Year. Now, I don't know for sure that they sent Chief Hutto, the chief of police, to go over there and fix it. But I do know for sure that Chief Hutto refused to enforce the law in a hit and run. I do know that the Parker Police Department lied to the court and filed a falsified police report that's not only not accurate, but is an outright lie. Again, look. So I did it again. So the police report, here it is. And I mean, the ticket that went to the court from, see the top, Parker Police Department, all it says is that the at-fault driver ran a stop sign. That's it. You see why maybe the Parker Police Department doesn't want to release the body camera footage with all the witnesses who said, yeah, the white pickup truck fled the scene after it caused the accident. Yeah, I feel bad because it's tough to be 18. It's tougher to be 18 today, and it's even tougher to be an 18-year-old girl. And I'm not even mad at her. I'm really pissed off at Sheriff Tommy Ford and the rest of the men and women in uniform who are doing this, because you are training a young cadet that it's okay to falsify a police report, that it's okay to lie to the court, that it's okay to have a hit and run like Chief Ramey did earlier this year. Okay? This law enforcement culture of corruption in Bay County is terrible. So what can we do? Well, one thing is maybe the Criminal Justice Standards and Training Commission, the FDLE, maybe the FDLE's Criminal Justice Standards and Training Commission need to be notified about this. Wait a minute. Hold on a second. Here it is. That's the Criminal Justice Training and Justice Standards and Training Commission. See, and they have meetings, and you go to hotels, and they teach how to have integrity and ethics in law enforcement. And the chairman is Sheriff Tommy Ford. The FDLE's Criminal Justice Standards and Training Commission chairman is Sheriff Tommy Ford. Well, that makes it kind of difficult, I want to write to the chairman. Hey, Chairman Ford, I want to tell you something about Sheriff Ford. That's tough. That makes it a little difficult. I'm going to show you what happened at this special meeting in Parker yesterday at their city commission meeting, where the chief of police said, I'm out, and several other officers, only three officers left in the city of Parker. My understanding is that the young officer who arrived at the scene and did a good job there, but ended up filing a falsified police report and lying to the court, Officer Dickinson, my understanding is that he has left. He's very young, but it sounds like he got hired. It sounds like a couple of these guys have been hired for better pay elsewhere. I can only guess where. So let's take a look at that. Let's take a look at the news story that will show last night's Parker city meeting. It was hot. There were tempers flaring. I'll show you.
You want to look good? You want to feel good? Little John's Big and Tall is where it's at. Right across the street from Sky's Pizza Pie, 5700 North Davis Highway. You can find out more online at littlejohnsbigandtall.com. He's also a member of the iTex trading community, where your iTex dollars are welcome.
Well, let's go to the City of Parker's YouTube page, because they show these. They all the live meetings are streamed. So let's go there. All right. Let's see. Yeah, there's a live meeting. See, there's the one from a month ago. You see that? And then the city, there's 2 weeks ago. But we need the one from yesterday. There's the one from 7 days. This was a special meeting. So there's one 7 days ago. Wait. There's the one from 7 days ago. Last night's meeting wasn't streamed. Why? Why was last night's meeting not streamed? Look, all the other meetings are streamed. What the hell? Well, that's interesting. Maybe we'll ask what happened. Probably it's just not uploaded yet. But it was streamed live. I don't understand. We'll find out about that, because that would have been interesting, right, to see the whole thing. But instead of seeing the whole thing as it happened, let's see what WMBB said about it, right? Let's see how they reported the news, because they've got cameras in there. All right, here's Tom Lewis. Hey, Tom, can you tell us what happened at the Parker City Council meeting yesterday?
Dennis Hutto has been a Parker police officer for 27 years, serving as chief for the last 10.
This morning, city officials announced that Chief Hutto will be retiring December the 27th. News 13's Grace Velez was at this meeting this morning in Parker, where residents are worried about the future of the police department, and she tells us what happened.
Last week, Mayor Kelly received a call from Police Chief Hutto saying he would be retiring on December 27th.
Last week. That'd be like the 20th. Well, this accident happened 2 weeks before that I was telling you about.
Mayor Kelly said he expected Tuesday's special meeting to be standard retirement protocol.
I thought we were going to listen to Chief Hutto's retirement request, approve that request, and be happy for him. But apparently that wasn't the case. There's apparently people ask me questions about when am I going to replace him. Well, as soon as we have somebody that will do the work. And that may take a couple months.
Residents voiced concerns about how city officials have no leads to fill the police chief position. And that's not their only concern. The police force's numbers have dwindled down in the last few weeks.
It does sound like we've had more resignations than just chiefs.
We have.
So can you tell us, or can Chief Hutto tell us how many we've had in the last month or are leaving in the next coming month?
Kelly admitted 2 other officers had left recently. One took a county job for more money. The other tendered his resignation effective Tuesday, November 26th, leaving for more money and better hours.
Got it.
So there's only 3 that have left, including Chief?
3, yeah, and two have said when they find a job earning more money that has a better.
Why is this not on a live stream? Why did the city not live stream this meeting? We have to just count on WMBB's reporting. The only reason the police officers are leaving all of a sudden at once is that they want to go somewhere else where they can get more money, is the narrative that we're hearing. I don't know the other council members. I don't know that she's a council member right there. Is that? No, that's clerk. Looks like clerk. I don't know. I don't know the other ones. But anyway, let's get back to the mayor here talking about we've lost a whole bunch of them.
The schedule they're going to go to.
So we'll be down 5 of how many?
5. We'll have 4. It's either 4 or 5 left.
So half of our police department.
Kelly responded saying residents should let Hutto retire in peace. Hutto's wife responded,
"You will have 3 left.
Okay.
And no dispatcher, because she quit Friday."
Okay.
Kelly claims the dispatcher quit last Friday for a family emergency and said he was shocked by Mrs. Hutto's reaction.
I don't know why she was angry today. I don't know. I would be happy, but I don't know why. I think that the people in the room, there's a lot of animosity amongst about 10 of those people in this room.
Some suggested disbanding the police force and having the Bay County Sheriff's Office take over.
So one theory is that Sheriff Tommy Ford will get a lot more money if they oversee Parker, right? Instead of having a Parker Police Department. And again, normally I am the biggest defender in the media and have been since 2007. You will not find, just search my work. Search. See what I've done when it comes to sheriff's offices. Normally, I would be all about that, but I can't be in this particular case. But it looks like that's what the sheriff would like to see. Now, I don't know that because we're not on talking terms anymore. But let's get back to the story here. So maybe the sheriff's office will take over.
Law enforcement. The sheriff's office already handles some of Parker's dispatch duties for $100,000 a year. Kelly says he plans to lean on the sheriff's office for help and dismiss the idea of disbanding the police force.
I will not let the people of Parker suffer. In other words, I'm not going to get to the day where they don't have enough law enforcement to keep them safe.
Council members voted to start the search for Hutto's replacement. Then Kelly asked Hutto if he would stay on if the search runs beyond December 27th.
So I would also have to modify my retirement with the state at that point to either go into the drop program or to recall my retirement pay.
Okay, no.
And
Your
currently
retirement is good.
currently there is enough time to still do that.
Okay.
But the other concern is that trying to rebuild the department based on some of the issues that I'm aware of is going to be kind of difficult.
In Bay County, Grace Velez, News 13, Panhandle Strong.
Mayor Kelly said job postings for 2 police officers and 1 dispatcher recently opened, and he expects to see a job posting for the police chief position by the end of today. And we have been unable to find any of those postings.
Okay, so my understanding is that Chief Hutto and Mayor Kelly don't get along, and it sure appears that way with Chief Hutto's wife yelling up there about there only being 3 officers left and no dispatcher in Parker. That's an issue. I don't know what to make of all this, but I get the feeling that there's something going on and we're not in on it. I will tell you also, at the state attorney's office, right, the prosecutor's office, DA, they call them in other states. So in our area, the state attorney is Larry Bassford. He's the top elected prosecutor. And he's had a difficult time keeping prosecutors who work for him, assistant state attorneys. They leave in droves. That was an issue during the election, which Larry Bassford won handily. But they just, I understand they had about 3 or 4, like half the office almost resigned recently. And I believe another one has just resigned. So we've got law enforcement officers and prosecutors around here resigning like crazy. So, my God, if you are in the system, it could take forever. And Bassford and Ford love to keep you in jail for as long as possible for little stuff like camping on the beach. I'm not joking. And camping on the beach means being out after midnight or in that area. That's camping on the beach as Panama City Beach redefined it. It's insane. So yeah, that's going on as well. Oh, I wanted to tell you something else. With Thanksgiving being tomorrow, and I sincerely hope that you have a good one, a really good one. Um, everybody needs it, so I really hope you do. But today is not Thanksgiving, and some offices, some Bay County offices, like even Chuck Purdue, who I think is probably the most efficient elected official, the tax collector, is he really revamped the DMV, which has been a greater experience for everybody. But without notice, Chuck Purdue closed his office today, and people showed up who had appointments. Look at this picture here. Imagine showing up for an appointment to pay your tax that you got to pay by the end of November, and there's no way to pay it because maybe you had an appointment. But look, this is what happened when people came up today to their appointments. Our offices will be closed to allow our team to enjoy the Thanksgiving with their families. Closed Wednesday through Friday. Nobody was notified. People just showing up to pay taxes, to do stuff at the DMV, and taking off work, driving all of it. Nothing. So nobody's perfect, not even Chuck Purdue. But I hope you have a great Thanksgiving. I will be covering this story about the Parker Police Department and its future. I will give you more details. And I mean, when I say details, let's just put it this way. When you hear people say, and you're going to, don't listen to Bernie Thompson. He doesn't know what he's talking about. I have friends maybe who are police officers in Parker. Maybe I'm a friend with one of the deputies on scene, whatever the case. And Bernie Thompson wasn't there. That's not what happened. There was a situation where the 18-year-old driver of the white truck was cussed out and trying to get away from somebody. And there are a lot of complicated factors here. And this crazy lady was involved. You're going to hear this stuff, okay? And what they're counting on, hear me now. Do you believe me? What they're counting on is that there will be no video, that there will be no witness statements. And I will tell you this. It is bad when government conceals public records, especially law enforcement. But it is a serious crime when they alter them, when they destroy them. So you will see proof of exactly what happened. Not today. So when you hear people say these things, just encourage them to continue doing it. Smoke them out. Say, could you tell me more? Because that Bernie, he makes some pretty crazy claims sometimes. What really happened and how do you know? Okay, don't argue. It's Thanksgiving season. And just ask them how they know so much. What really happened? Smoke it out because I want to know. Let's get to the bottom of it. But you, just like the Ramey hit and run, they tried to hide the video. Just like that one, you're going to see the video. And that's all I'll tell you at this point. All right. I want to thank the Unknown Patriot for your support of the show. And I want to thank you, those of you who sponsor my efforts as little as $5 a month, by putting a tip in the tip jar and becoming a patron at patreon.com/Bernie Thompson. It means a lot to me. I couldn't do it without you. Thank you. Thank you. Crowdfunding keeps the show going. It's not much, but without you, the show wouldn't have been kept going. So thank you, patrons. And I should probably tell you one more thing. Part of the way that I get some of these tips, I know it's sometimes hard to reach me. I know. I've been unresponsive. And there's Anyway, I don't want to make excuses, but here's how you can get my full attention. You can book a call, and it's very easy to do. You can go to that website, calendly.com/Bernie Thompson, for my undivided attention for a half hour or for an hour. It's very, very, it's super worth it for some people. But and you don't just have to give me a tip. We can talk about anything. We can talk about citizen journalism, or how to get public records, or going to a city council meeting and making public comments, or, like I say, I can't wait to just kick back and talk about either the gear I use to do a podcast, or what I like to take out in the woods, anything. Book a call, calendly.com/Bernie Thompson. That's how you can do it. This story is already hot, but it's about to get really hot. Remember, when you hear people say, that's not what happened, Bernie Thompson's wrong, we should sue him for whatever you hear, just say, wow, tell me more. What do you know? Because I sure would like to know more. Okay. All right. I'll see you soon.